be quiet for a moment because we are going live and I like to talk and people are going to get on and they're going to be like, what is she talking about? I was going to say, I cannot wait to hear about your experience with Last Splash because it just looked phenomenal. So I'm like super excited to hear about that. And I'm really sorry, you guys. If for some reason you hear dings happening, it's my computer and I don't know how to turn it off. So I'll have to figure that out at some other time, but not right now. So, Mandee, how was your beautiful weekend, hon?
Our weekend was lovely. It was the best weather we ever could have asked for. We had incredible vendors and performers and an awesome DJ, Hunter Scott, who was just killer. And we raised some money for the Stranding Center and for the Lighthouse, which is what it was all about. So we're already planning next year. We're so excited about it. It went so well. And yeah, we're going to have a little like debrief meeting to go over how everything went and find out, how much money we raised and all of that good stuff. So it was just a lovely day with lovely vendors, lovely people, a great vibe, and we could not have asked for anything better. So thank you for asking. And
That
hello,
makes me
welcome.
so happy. I know we've got Sophia, we have Terry, we have Glenda. Hello, you guys. You're wonderful and amazing. Hopefully next year I can manifest coming. Like I tried last minute to come, but plane tickets are crazy expensive right now. I don't know if it's like after COVID because last year during COVID, we got a plane ticket and it was like super cheap. It was like $600 for both Ben and I to fly first class. So that was super cheap. And then I looked in and I was like, oh crap. And I really wanted to go. So we'll just make sure we manifest that for a year because
It's
I can't
okay.
wait to meet. I can't wait to meet all of you. I'm so excited to see you all face to face. You're such a fun group of people. Like you guys don't get to see all the hi Pam, all the conversations, but we have this little chatty thing that we do amongst ourselves, and they're just such a fun collective group of women that have kind of come together and made this beautiful space. And I think that that's what I love the most about Sea Goddess and I guess other healer spaces too, is that we all have something to offer differently to somebody else at any point in time in their healing. And so it's really cool because all of it can be used all at once, but then it can also be used separately. And it's really fun to hear the perspectives of everybody in the chat. So it's really cool. They're great people. If you're in the Jersey area, please visit them and say hi to them because they're wonderful. And go to their page and like look at all their posts from yesterday because they're amazing.
Yes, we'll be putting out more. Like, I took a ton of videos and pictures and stuff, but I had to work a lot today and tomorrow. And so at some point this week, we'll get all caught up and get all the pictures and videos out there. But a lot of other people took pictures and videos. They're being posted and shared. And it was just a great day and a great vibe. And yes, the Sea Goddess Tribe is awesome. Each and every one of us march to like our own amazing, unique beat. And we're all our own incredible healers in different ways or one another. And we complement one another. We all have very unique and strong and different personalities. And like there's just room for everybody. So it's really cool. And it's nice to like we talk and reflect a lot about. It's nice to have really healthy friendships and healthy relationships between women, and I'm really hoping to do some specials on that soon. And we're going to do a few episodes on saltwater for the soul when that comes back, and what it's like is like holding space in healthy relationships as women, because we talk a lot about our traumas and our dramas in our love life, but a lot of things we don't talk about are like the friend traumas and dramas, and so many of us have been through that as we grow, as we pass on our way in our on our levels of ascension and all the things we're doing. And it takes a while to find your crew, to learn how to have truly healthy relationships, to forgive yourself and to forgive others and to move forward. So it's really nice to like hold space with women who do that, and we're excited to teach about it in the future here too, because it certainly is near and dear to every woman I know.
Yes, I feel like I don't know. I'm sure because I know each of these women on some level that have commented. And I know one of the first monthly meetings we had, it was talking about that and like sisterhood and stuff. And I was like, oh, they're gonna get me where it hurts like the very first time because Crystal's not. I feel like everybody thinks I'm really good at sharing, but what they don't understand is that I'm good at sharing things that I've healed from. I am not good at sharing things that I'm still dealing with because I'm still trying to figure out what those emotions and feelings and like, what do I feel about it? Like, I'm still trying to get there myself. So if I share too soon, it's going to come from a place of unhealed, which is going to be toxic, and I'm just going to be like spewing at everybody. So I'm good at talking about things that I haven't healed from or that I haven't really reflected on. And so that one thing is one that I haven't really reflected on. I know that I've had those toxic friendships and I know where my accountability lies, but I'm going to tell you also, like, one of the things with my toxic friendships when they broke off, I was ghosted. And I'm like, why can't people just be like, okay, so here's the thing. I love you. And I'm just going to tell you, these are all the things that aren't sitting right in my soul right now. It's like a breakup, you know? It's like,
that's what I'm telling you. We got to talk about this.
Like, tell me what the F I did wrong in this relationship between the two of us so I can move on too with closure, because closure is something that I think I've always needed in my life and I needed to figure it out. And so not getting any of that closure, I'm still sitting here going, okay, so I know I was a toxic, but how was I the toxic? And I've tried to put the pieces together back for myself through my perspective, which is not how you do that. You need perspective of other people. That's why we're supposed to hold a mirror to other people. And that's why we're supposed to receive those things. So it's one of those, like, I'm tap dancing on that line of like, okay, what do I let in? What don't I let in? What do I let in? What don't I let in? Because I'm still not like, I'm not sure what the fuck I did wrong to begin with. So I don't want to toxic all your guys' spaces.
I love this. We have a lot to talk because there's opportunities there. Like, yes, we want and need closure. And as we move forward in healthy relationships, it's important to have healthy communication and be like, hey, like, are we, just like any other relationship, just like romantic relationships, which we talk about all the time. It's the same thing with like other relationships, professional, even. Like, a lot of times people just kind of like let people go, but don't tell them when or where or how, or if they're officially laid off. And it's like the same exact thing. And it's this pattern that we see within ourselves and sometimes others and the situations around us. And so it's really important, if you have the opportunity, like, this is where one of my favorite books is The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And this is an opportunity. In the 4 Agreements, they talk about being really clear with your word, and like miscommunication, like, that's a lot of that is your responsibility. If you do your best to ask questions and be like clear on things and stuff like that, then you will find yourself having a lot more peace at the end of the day. And if you don't get the answers you're wanting, if you do get ghosted and you're reaching out and you're not getting anything back, then it's time to simply practice acceptance. Simple but not easy. And say, you know what? Actually, I'm going to trust in my higher self, in God, and the angels more right now. And I'm going to say, you know what? Like, everything's okay. And this relationship isn't meant for me. And I hold space. I send unconditional love. I wish them the best on their path. I'm going to wish myself the best on my path. And I'm going to do my best to release whatever hurt I'm feeling because of it. And instead transmute that hurt into serious trust, because I'm being protected from something, or this is being removed from my life for a reason at this time, and it's divine. And that's the hardest part.
It is. Well, I don't want to say it's the hardest part because I don't know. I've never been on the other side. I've never been I'm the communicator. I feel like in every relationship, I'm the whether it be spouses, friendships, whatever, family, every relationship, I'm like, let's talk about this. Because if you don't talk about it, we're never going to figure out, how people, when they pass and they talk about and they reflect upon those beautiful relationships that they had, and they talk about how, like, life is too short and it really doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, none of the bullshit matters. It really doesn't matter. And so let's talk about it and clear the air and find out where we lie and, like, move the F on. Like, let's do that, because that's what life is about. And that's one of the biggest, most beautiful aspects of spirit, I think, that I've learned in my life. So I don't hold on to things so much. But, people, I think, are so scared of those feelings that they refuse to talk about it. And it's like everybody's just bottling it up. Like, my guides give it to me like the bottle of Coke versus the bottle of water. And they're like, one of these days, one of those bubbles are going to go and your lid's going to blow off because you just won't talk about it. And that was one of the coolest things I think that my people have taught me throughout this process, because all of those relationships kind of were at the end before my awakening. And this one took place kind of after, like one of my marriages took place after, but I communicated and I felt so good about it after the fact. I was like, I did that right. So that was a good step in the right direction. And we have a lot of comments and I don't want to ignore you guys.
So we're jamming.
And I am going to do this because this is the first one. Mandee, we have somebody who is calling upon you and the gifts that you provide that they love you for the most. Mandee, may I please have a card pulled? I'm a little tense about an upcoming event and my feelings have hurt. So if you want to do that, we have Glenda who is saying, hey, coming in from a new location. Great to see you too. Who's the new location? Are you in the new location, Glenda? Oh, yes, you are. You're on YouTube. You're not on Facebook. So hello. Sophia says you both are looking strong and confident. Mandee does look absolutely beautiful with her hair down. We're going to talk about that too for a second.
I had it up all day because I was working and I had it up and I went to like re-put it back up and I was like, yeah, it's kind of like nice and wavy today. I went to the beach yesterday. I was like, whatever, I'll leave it down. So thank you all so much.
You do look absolutely stunning. You look like you've got this glow upon you, and everybody is noticing. So,
well, I got a lot of sun this past week, among some other things.
Pam says, hey, beautiful ladies. Glenda, yes, I agree. Crystal, Emily, hello. So thankful to be tuning in. Terry, Crystal, thanks for the video you put out earlier today. Could you please tell me who is around me? I think it's my mom and great-grandmother. I can after we're done with the card, because you have a whole slew of things happening upon you. It's very funny, Terry, that you don't feel all of the things sometimes happening around you.
Let's pause here and like pause our comments and maybe you dive into Terry and then I'll pull a card. Like, are you pulling that in now? Pull a card.
That's fine, because last week Terry had said something and she had commented on one of my videos on YouTube. Thank you for commenting, by the way. But you had said something about not understanding what Spirit was talking about with you leveling up. And so Mandee last week pulled the card and we talked a little bit about that and your leveling up and your boundaries and all these other things. You have this weird, it's almost like a crossroads, but you're not at a crossroads. What I'm getting is there are a bunch of roads coming together and it's like you're standing in the middle of all these roads. And so there's a lot of incoming traffic taking place in your life right now. So there's a lot of situations that are kind of coming to a close, but you are the deciding factor on which things you take with you on this next journey forward and which things you just kind of allow to be in the space. And I feel like there's so many things that have happened throughout your life because you're giving me this ladder, which means that you've like taken one step. And so you have all these things that it's almost like your healing is like confusing to you right now. It's almost like all of them have come to a head in a way that you don't really know how to dissect each one of them and separate them and make them like visible visually to you so you understand what it is that you're working forward for next in your life. And that's what they're making me feel like this is. It's an overwhelming anxiety because of all of the things that are kind of taking place. And I do think there are situations, they're giving me two situations that are kind of concurrently taking place in your life right now that are kind of causing a little bit of that anxiety. And so what they're doing is they're kind of pushing one off to the side because I think you know that what they're talking about has nothing really to do with you per se. This is your gifted control. And when I talk about this, if we're empaths, mediums, psychics, or anybody who is gifted or in tune at all, we like to sometimes, Mandee, this is what I was just talking about. They have to take you back sometimes so you don't focus on other people's problems, because we like to focus on other people's problems, because when we're focusing on other people's problems, because we know those are all figured out in our head. You know, we have the grand divine plan for everybody in our life except for us. That is literally Spirit, guys. It is what it is. But they're making me feel like what's happening with you is that you're essentially going through this healing phase, and instead of taking yourself back out of the chaos, what you're doing is you're keeping yourself in the middle because you're comfortable with chaos. And they're trying to remove you from it. They're like really trying to remove you from it. But outside of that, you don't know what to do with the quiet. You don't know what to do with the space. You don't know how to focus inward 100% on yourself. And that's what they're asking you to do right now. And so it's almost like a very chaotic life that's not really chaotic for you. I think that there are things happening around you and you've gotten so used to allowing them in that people just drop things on your doorstep. And so what they're doing is they're making me feel like they're asking you to kind of get overwhelmed with all the things that you've allowed on your doorstep. Because in order for us to sometimes move forward, we have to understand that sometimes we're the ones holding us back. And so they're really wanting you to understand that right now this is a you thing. It's not really a them thing. And so there's not really much they can do until you go through some of those layers and really start to dissect where your hand was in the cookie jar, so to speak, instead of it being them leading you through some of these aspects. And I want you to know this does not mean your life is chaotic at all in a negative way. It's not. I don't see this as negative chaos. I actually see this almost as a positive chaos, because it's like there's a lot of good things happening to you all at once that are coming together. It's just these little annoyances that keep popping up out of nowhere that you're like, well, I thought I was over this, or I thought I had overcome this, and now why is this coming back into my life all of a sudden? So it's more annoyances than anything else, but it can feel overwhelming to us. And so please take the step back that they've been calling you to take the step back. And that can come in so many forms. This is where Mandee's expertise really comes in, because she is such a healer. When we do not focus on certain parts of our life, sometimes spirit gives us stuff to slow us down, such as a broken ankle, a knee problem, stomach issues, health issues, something like that, to really pull us back and separate us from work or from people or from conversations or whatever. And they really try to pull us back. And they're making me feel like you've had some ups and downs take place over the past 6 months in your actual physical life that you're kind of like, what the hell? But those are also little annoyances to slow you down and help you start to breathe on your path and really start to focus. So just bear in mind, none of these things are going to contribute to long-term experiences. They're actually making me feel like these are short-term annoyances that are going to play out the way that they need to, and they will come to a close. But unless you really start to dive in a little deeper and dissect those things one-on-one, it's still going to be an annoyance every single day of your life. So if you're getting migraines, you're probably going to get more migraines. Because they're calling you to take time. They're calling you to heal, drink more water, get more exercise, take more walks. I don't know what it is, but they're making me feel like overall health for you right now, mental, emotional, and spiritual, is all something that they're working on hand in hand. So I'm going to let Mandee pull some cards, because she can usually give more clarity than that.
Well, I also just thought it'd be fun, too, to pause, because do you know what Louise Hay recommends if you have a migraine?
Yes, I do know what Louise Hay recommends when you have a migraine, and all y'all are going to be like, whoa, did she just say that shit? Yes, she said that on Facebook and the YouTubes.
So in Louise Hay, you can heal your life. Migraine headaches are caused by, according to Louise, dislike of being driven, resisting the flow of life, sexual fears. This can usually be relieved by masturbation. So she wrote this a long time ago, and we like to use the word around Sea Goddess Healing Arts of self-pleasure, because masturbation actually means self-harm in Latin. And so it has like a really strong energy to it. So we like to say self-pleasure when we talk about that. But the affirmation, if you're struggle with migraines or if you need some support around it, would be, I relax into the flow of life. I let life provide all that I need easily and comfortably. Life is for me. So hopefully that helps a few of you out there. And sometimes, your migraine's too far gone and you don't really want to self-pleasure. But if it's just coming on, you might be able to help yourself out. So hopefully that lightens it up a tiny bit. And then send Terry a few cards here. It was for Terry also, right? The cards?
Yes, the cards are also
You're both for Terry. So I was like, okay, perfect. All right, Terry. Awesome. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. It's really important right now to remember that you have been taking all the baby steps that you need, that you have been putting in the work that you need to do to heal yourself and to bring into alignment the things that you're calling in. When it comes to the event that you're worried about, you get the Arama card. It's where are you being called to journey to? And I think it's important that you go. And I think when you go, it's important to journey into those feelings you're having about it too. Like, what's making you tense? Are you nervous you're going to argue with someone? Are you nervous you're going to be judged? Are you nervous about travel? Is there, get zero in on what it is that is causing that bit of tension, and breathe into it. Sit with yourself and say, okay, you know what? I'm really nervous because I got to go see so-and-so. And what's the worst that can happen? And I let myself swing the pendulum to, oh my God, this could happen, that could happen, blah, blah, blah. Okay, pause. 5 minutes up there. What can I do and swing the pendulum the other way? What's the best that could happen out of this? And where can I meet myself in the middle at this time? and ask your angels to surround you in white and blue light and protect you. But they are showing you going forward to it and that it's for the highest good, even if it's uncomfortable at times, because it's going to make you stronger. And then last but not least, pillar of light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. You really are doing a lot of healing and growing at this time, and you're very intuitive and in tune. It's important to have strong boundaries, and it's also important to let yourself have some fun when you need to. I'm definitely seeing some music around your life. So I hope that helps, and just trust your intuition, shield at the event, and don't worrying. Worrying is like praying for what you don't want. So do your best to focus on the good things that are coming and the healing that's coming towards you at this time and that you are calling in and doing. So I hope that helps and supports you, Terry.
I had to add to that because I forgot to answer. Your mom is around you, but actually you have 2 great grandmothers around you and a grandmother, and you also have mom around you. So you have a lot of people, because it's not just them as well. You also have like an uncle energy that is around you. So you have a lot of people that are around you right now. And I think that's because of all those healing things that are coming to the surface. But mom isn't doing a lot of talking. She's doing a lot of pushing. And I think that's really funny because you and mom seem to be a whole lot alike in life. They're making me feel like y'all are both really stubborn people. This means to me button of heads, and it means that we have some strong personalities to work with in life, and I feel like you're resisting parts, and so mom is kind of pushing you, and I think you want mom to talk to you more, and she's just making me feel like you're getting a little frustrated because she's not talking in the ways that you would like to receive her or the ways that you're used to receiving her. And that's a second aspect of opening up in understanding our loved ones and actually opening up and understanding gifts, because spirit likes to change it up on how if we're feelers, they like to give us things that we visually see until we get that. And then they'll move us into things that we can hear. And so they like to pass on a little bit more into get us fine-tuned into all of the gifts, which are, I like to tell people that spirit speaks through thoughts, feelings, emotions, ego, imagery, and senses. Those are all of the ways that you can get them. Now, you can be like me and hear and see all those things when you channel, or you can get things such as just senses, smells, taste, or you can just get thoughts in your head. And those are all of the ways. And so spirit will separate those things. They do it with me every now and then. They like to take me back because why? People don't know how to communicate, and neither does spirit, because whatever they were when they were here, that's how they're going to come through when they channel on the other side. So if they didn't like to talk, they're not going to want to open up and tell me their whole entire life. No, it's going to be more of a feeling, and there's going to be an apprehension behind the feelings that they're associating with it. They're not going to use their words as much. I'm going to have to tap into all those other things to get the point across. And so that's why they teach us, because not everybody talks the same, and neither does spirit. And that's something super important, because your uncle probably didn't speak the same as mom. And so they're going to come through and they're going to, I guess, give your energy and share energy with you the way that it would have made sense more to them. So I hope that makes sense to all of you, because I think all of you are trying to like get into a place where you can hear, see, and feel spirit. So I hope that helps. Okay, so we have Emily says, thank you for sharing. Sophia, I definitely have sisterhood trauma from past lives and in this life. So having this community is healing. Thank you, Sophia. You're wonderful. Hi, Erin. I love that you're here. Here. She said here with ears, and then she spell corrected herself and said here, as in here. Pammy, literally always need closure too. Heather, hi Heather, hi everyone, happy Monday. Sophia, Pammy, James, same. Glenda, friendships feel the same way when they break up. They do, especially if we were super close. I love Mandee in our lives. She has addressed a couple times some of the things that have like come and gone in her life. She doesn't get into detail, which is completely fine. But she talks about some of those relationships that have like come and gone in her life. And I love how she always talks about how you hold them dear to your heart. Like that is something I think all of us can take from you in learning.
Features if you allow it.
It's like, I love how you talk about that. There's like no illness behind you and your soul when you talk about these past experiences. And I love it for her. We have so many comments.
Yes, let's read through some of these comments. And hi, Jen. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Heather. So many people.
Okay.
Emily.
Terry, Mandee, I love your hair down. It's so pretty. Heather says, hi, Sophia. Shout out to Crystal's new friend, Charlie. Thank you so much. I can't debut him yet. I will talk more about him. Stacy, hi ladies. It's been a while that I have seen you guys. Heather, so can you explain what it is to be open, Mandee? Can you explain what it is to be open?
In what context? What were we talking about?
I'm not exactly sure what we were talking about in that moment. I think that was in our very first part of our comments when we were talking about like being open to like I think we were talking about our friendships and some of that sisterhood trauma. I think that's what we were talking about in that moment when we were talking about like being open to receive and open to communication and all those other things. And she says, so can you explain what it is to be open? And Heather, if you're still here, can you comment on the bottom and let us know what you really mean?
Give us a few more details on that and I'd be happy to answer it. I just want to know what context you were talking about because I could go a lot of ways there.
Glenda says, Mandee, just talking about things makes some people cringe. So they do. I've learned to stop holding on to things. It's taken me a really long time. That's Miss Pammy. And coaching from Mandee. Yes. See, she's so good at that. She has this like amazing quality that just like is a beautiful blanket of energy that Mandee, I think, shares with us every single Monday. All of us, I think. You do, Mandee. You need to know that you're like a blanket of warmth and love that I think just wraps all of us, and then we feel good for the rest of the week. So we all appreciate you.
Aw, that's very sweet. My honor to hold space with all of you.
Sophia says, yikes, I hold on to stuff for sure. It's important for me to hold people accountable who treat me bad. Definitely not a good communicator when it comes to those situations, but you're healing through it. And you acknowledging it and just saying that means that you've acknowledged that. And so you are healing from it. And so be nicer to yourself, Sophia, because that means you're taking responsibility right there. And that's beautiful. There's no emoji like this emoji. I keep looking for it. Brian, hello. I hold on to way so much. Melissa says, how's this work on here? So Melissa, if you have a question on anything in particular, you can ask Mandee to pull a card. If you just want to make comments, you can make comments. If there's just a random, I want to have you pull a card, but I don't really want everybody knowing what the card's about, can you do that for me too? Mandee's amazing. She also uses other things. She uses a pendulum to answer questions sometimes. She pulls that out. And she uses other ways in which she communicates with spirit and angels. So there's many ways that this works. Hi, Melissa. We listen and learn here. Oh, I love you, Heather. Look at you. Also, if you want a card for Mandee, she's explaining to her. I won't reread that because it's just reiterating. Thank you for doing that. You guys are amazing. Look at you have each other's backs. So, Glenda, oh my goodness, Crystal, I know that is for Terry, but dang, that is hitting home for me also. I think a lot of us are kind of similarly going through a lot of things right now. Similarly, Brian says, my work has drained all of me. I feel so stuck and trapped there, and I want out so bad, but fear losing everything again and letting my wife and son down. Oh, hun. So first off, I'm just going to stop there and give you an energetic hug because I don't think you could let people down. Okay. Because I feel like your wife really loves you. So I'm just going to tell you that. I want to leave and move on to a better job, but I've given my heart, soul, and tore my body to pieces daily at my job. I have no more left to give. As daily, all I gave was to work and no more left when I get home. I think that first off, like I know Mandee does this too, and if you want her to pull a card, we can pull a card for you, see what's up for you. But we're big supporters of men, and like allowing men to speak and communicate, but also like have a space. You know, it's not a man versus woman thing for me. I want to get that very clear. But at the same time, I think men are way more quiet with communicating and taking things on and not knowing how to speak. Because from my personal perspective, I'll talk about my husband. He knows I do that, so it's okay. He
also said, I'm so sorry, hon. Totally forgot it was Monday. Love you.
Oh, so he puts a lot on his shoulders, and he doesn't like to bring things to the table because as a man, you're kind of raised that you have to take care of things and you're supposed to be like this person, this, stability. But that takes away from the partnership. And it blows my mind sometimes that I have to remind Ben that we're in a partnership. that we're here together and we're working through it together. And so if something's bothering him, it's going to bother me, or it's at least going to put it on the table and it's going to say, let's fix it together. Let's figure it out together. Like if I have to hold things up for a minute, then I'll hold things up for a minute, because that's what we do. And so when you're talking about that, it gets my soul a little bit, because I'm sorry that you're going through that experience. First off, I'm sorry life is giving you those experiences, but at the same time, I'm sorry that that's your inner reflection. And it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the position your wife has placed you in or anything like that. It just means that you have been taught, essentially, like so many other men, that we have to be the stability, and you don't have to be the stability, because that's not really your job. You're not Superman. And so please allow yourself to take that little piece off your table, so you can understand that you need love, support, healing, and to be honored as well in every aspect of your life. So I hope that that helps a little bit, but I am going to go
I'm
down.
just going to pull Brian a card, if that's okay. I hope it's okay, but I'm just going to pull a general one for Brian. And also we have a troll, if you wouldn't mind taking care of that. Thank you. Brian, I hope this is okay. Animal guardian, trust your instincts. It's so important right now with knowing like everything that's coming up for you, with feeling trapped and being, you know, afraid to start over and letting people down, that it's really important to trust your intuition on it. Follow what your heart wants most. Whatever it is, I promise you, the universe will line it up and be there to help protect all of you. And in the meantime, this goes for everyone. It's important to not only trust our inner instincts, but any other type of animal energy that you can connect with will support you at this time. Whether it's just watching birds fly or connecting with one of your own pets or volunteering somewhere, it's really important to trust that at this time. So I hope that helps you. And just, yeah, make it, and this is for everybody, make decisions based on what your heart wants most, not what anybody else wants or might want. And what'll happen is it's for the high, and it ends up being for the highest good of everyone. And it's going to be okay. So just know that, know you're loved, know you're safe, and it's going to be all right.
I didn't hear that because I'm so sorry. I was like trying to read and I was like, where is it? Where's the troll? So I'm taking care of that. If you want, I'm deleting comments. So if you want, you can go back up and you can start from where he was. And I thank you so much.
I got that. I can do that. Oh, wow. We have a lot of comments. I got to scroll. Oh, here we go. Cool. Ashley said, just went through some changes and would love a card and insight. For Ashley. The Earth Guardian, stay rooted and grounded. Every time we go through change, and this is a great time during Mercury retrograde, every time we go through change, it's really important for us to allow ourselves to enjoy that change, to become rooted in that change, to get used to our new routine or our new ways of showing up or new ways of being, the stuff that's coming. And one of the best ways you can do that is, of course, to connect with nature and to literally ground your feet on the ground. But anything you can actually do in your life that just feels grounding, even if it's just taking a bath or soaking your feet or playing with some of your crystals or doing a meditation or listening to some music, whatever you can do that helps you to become grounded. I'm seeing maybe some writing for you as well. I don't know if writing resonates, Ashley, but that can really help you in order to ground in your energy. And one of the other things you can do, and this is for everybody too, is at the end of the day or even the beginning of the day, go over 10 things you're grateful for. It lifts and changes our vibration. It brings us back to the present moment, and it helps us to like ride the changes that we're going through at that time. So I hope that supports you. Let's see. Next we have Sophia says, in one of Crystal's latest videos, she mentioned my Arcturian soul family. Does anyone have info on them or resources? I'd love to learn more.
I was just going to make a comment in here and tell you that, like, I have a friend on my Facebook, and I know you're friends with me on my actual Facebook page, Sophia. So look up Garrett Petrov. He's actually wonderful. He helps people with Kundalini Reiki. He certifies people. And he also helps people figure out their soul families and like some of those things. And I had a Akashic record done by him a long time ago. And he had mentioned that I was part of the Pleiadians. So I don't know if that also would help you or if he would be able to help. But I do know that he does a lot of light healing and light work. And he works with higher vibrational helper beings, such as interdimensionals is how I'll say that. So that might be easy for you to find. His name is Garrett Petrov, and I think Mandee's looking through something here for you right now too.
Yeah, give me a few. I really want to read Rebecca Campbell's words on them if I can find them.
It was really.
I said that I landed on Andromeda. So if anybody's interested in Andromedan energy, Andromeda is a spiritual galaxy in the galaxy that's closest to the Milky Way. It's believed that the Andromedan starseeds are a group of beings who love their freedom. This is one of I belong to. Very adaptable, they have a strong willingness and adaptability to change and go with the flow, to calm in the chaos, to swim in the tides. This card is here to encourage you to do the same. Andromedans want you to fall in love with surfing the waves of life, to seek more adventures, to embrace your own adaptability, and to find ways of being in the calm in the chaos. You didn't come to Earth to be passive. You came to Earth to truly live. Now take a good old run up and leap. So somebody needed to hear that. And Pleiadians are incredible. They're I like gift them like credit for helping us with technology and our internet and things like that. And they hold a frequency like higher than angels. And the Pleiadians are also known as the Seven Sisters, which is a constellation. If you look up in the sky, you can find it, you can see it, and there's like 7 big stars that are part of it. So it's also known as the Seven Sisters. And rumor has it many of us incarnated around there, and we work with them a lot, and they're here to guide us in so many ways. And it's another group of beings that we can pray to, just like angels and God and ancestors and all of that good stuff. You know, we can pray to our star families as well. Many of us have incarnated on those planets, and this one too. So there's a lot of things and tools and different ways of being that we draw in from there. So hopefully that helps a little bit with Pleiades. And I'm going to keep looking and see if I find the Arcturians.
Yeah, I said
that it came up.
Yay! I was like, the only thing that I had like picked up on them is that they were protecting her, and they were like they were beautiful, wonderful, healing beings, like these beautiful, amazing healers, but also they had a like strong protection, and it was almost like a don't mess with us type of attitude, like we gotcha. And so that was all I picked up on them, was that they were amazing, beautiful, very knowledgeable of a lot of things. But also very strong in their protection around Miss Sophia.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to read you this whole card, actually, because it's really good, and I think all of you guys will like it and be interested. Oh, here's our Seven Sisters, the Pleiades card. That's what that looks like, which is so fun. And then I really want to find this one, which is deep cellular healing is what they're responsible for, which is pretty cool. I will find it because we might as well look at it while we're doing it. It just makes it all the more magical.
Puts it all together.
Right. And this, if you're interested in starseeds, if you're interested in learning about all this stuff, Rebecca Campbell's Starseed deck is just awesome. It's called the Starseed Oracle, and it helps you to connect with your own empathic sides of things. And then it also teaches you so many things that you didn't know, at least that you didn't maybe remember consciously in this lifetime. And then it reactivates so much. So anyway, I guess I can't find the card, but if it pops out, I'll show it. Deep cellular healing, Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. Your body knows how to heal. Healing is your natural state. Physical and emotional disharmony can be a reflection of how the world, inner and outer, has been out of alignment. If you're suffering from a mystery or a chronic illness, don't allow yourself to think that you've done something wrong. Today, it's difficult to navigate our health. If this card has made its way to you, you're being called to focus on healing in practical ways, to prioritize your health, to be kind and tender to your miraculous body, and to give yourself the grounding and care that you need, to put your body first, to nourish yourself as you would a newborn baby, to treat yourself with tender care. You may be called to switch things up in your body or your emotional well-being, to call in a team of helpers to support you in navigating any challenges that you may be experiencing emotionally. The Arcturians are a galactic group of beings who have mastered deep cellular and emotional healing. They want you to know that it's possible for you to feel vibrant in your body and well in your skin, to have your cells return to the ever essence and vitality that once were, to find the calmness and the connectedness, and to have a soothed nervous system and a tranquil heart. This comes with a starseed activation and affirmations, basically. So if you feel called or you want to join, or if you want to call in some body and healing to yourself with us, I invite you to put your hand over your heart and repeat after me. And you can do this out loud or in your heart or in your mind. I take back my vitality and my energy, and I feel more healthy each and every day. My body knows how to heal. My body knows how to heal. My body knows how to heal. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. So if you want some help with some star beings with healing at a deep cellular level, call in the Arcturians. And the cool thing about the deep cellular level is that it helps us to remember and reactivate so many things that are seated deep within us in a crystalline energy level it's hidden within our DNA at a deep cellular level. So it will heal you in ways you can't even possibly imagine. And I just really feel like my own self going through all of this and practicing these sorts of things every day. Like, I feel like I'm growing younger and healthier and stronger. And I broke my back 3 times. I had severe fibromyalgia. I had HPV strain 16. I had all kinds of like crazy different things going on, like a severe vocal cord dysfunction. I don't even know. There's so many things. But either way, severe joint damage. And I'm dancing again. I'm jumping again. I'm almost running again. Like, doctors told me like I would never even walk again at one point. So like, it's so important to tune into your body. And Dr. Joe Dispenza is one of my favorite tools for that as well. He wrote a bunch of awesome books. You Are the Placebo is the first one. And his more recent one, one of his more recent ones, Becoming Supernatural, really goes deep with all of this. And he was a doctor who broke his back when he was riding his bike in like a triathlon. He got hit by a car and he broke his back and was like in bad shape. And he tells this story. He had to have this special surgery called like a Harriman rod surgery or something like that. I don't know. I'm probably messing that up. But he kind of made a deal with God and with spirit and was like to the surgeons, he's like, yo, if you let me like meditate and heal this, like for the next like 8 weeks, like I'm going to do this and it's going to be okay. And he would like visualize his spine healing and coming back together each and every day. And they like studied it and watched it happen. And he did it. He walked out of there, no problem, like 6 weeks or 8 weeks later or something. So like all of this is so possible and there's purpose to our pain, and it's not fun when we're in pain. I'm someone who is on round the clock painkillers, not at all anymore. And so I know that there's hope. I know every single body is different, and it's important to not give up on yourself, because I almost, it's hard to guarantee anything, but I want to say I guarantee there's some sort of solution or some sort of balm or some sort of aid to whatever pain you have going on at this time. Right. So I hope that all helps and supports all of you. And we learned a little bit.
I love that. So when we deep dive, we never know what we're diving into, but at the same time, there's reasons for it, because I know all of you probably are dealing with that on some level. So we have Melissa, who says that she would like a card just to see what they have to say, just to see what they got to say.
We can do that. I'm putting the star seeds to the side because I tossed them everywhere looking for our deep cellular helium one. Okay.
Those are so important. So like when we ground, surround, and shield, like to surround ourselves also in blue light is so important because of that deep cellular healing. And that's what our angels have to offer us. I'll shut up now. Sorry.
You're great. Well, honestly, though, this is quick and easy. Melissa, boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? We talk about this often. It's so important. Boundaries can come in a lot of different ways. It can be personal for you. I like to give the example of like, I know I need bedtime. I know I need my like 8 hours of sleep, or I'm not my optimal Mandee and I just get tired and a little cranky and just it doesn't work. So like in my own personal life, like I know I need to drink a lot of water. I know stuff like that to serve me. At the same time, are we letting other people take too much of our energy, and maybe we're giving too much to friends. Like we were talking about all the girlfriend things, and like my soul sisters know, like I will do my best to communicate when I can with a whole heart as much as possible. And like sometimes life is crazy and I need to be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry that's happening. I love you so much. Can we talk about it like on Tuesday at 4? When I really can like sit down and talk to you, can have a cup of tea and like figure it out, you know, and I'm going to send you love and angels in the meantime, because we all have to like manage our own lives and we all have so much going on. And sometimes we like really overgive. And I'm kind of seeing that happening with you. Sometimes you're, you know, Rebecca Campbell, who made this deck, says, don't say yes when you really mean no. A lot of the times we're like, oh, will you work late tonight? Yeah, no problem. Sure. Like, is that a yes or is that a no? Like, you really didn't want to. You had things going on. You needed to pick up your kid or whatever it was. But you're trying to do the right thing. So just take some inventory, see where you need to practice some better boundaries in your life, and let yourself, encourage yourself to, because you'll have great reward from that.
Love that. So I'm not exactly sure if cards are going to be able to answer this one. Mariah says, please, may I have a reading? Will my son get an offer from Cambridge University? Any messages from my mom? I actually do not have messages from your mom right now. I am going to tell you that I think that, I don't know if it's going to be Cambridge, but I am going to tell you that I do believe your son is probably going to get several offers from many other places, and one might suit him better because I feel like he may want to stick around a little bit. I just don't know that it's going to work out. Here's how I'm seeing this, going to be honest. I'm seeing it like with my son. Either. I was like, I'm
not getting a yes on it, honestly. Yeah. And I'm also seeing many different options, and also like your son following what makes his heart most happy. Yeah. And it might seem like that at this time, but something else is lining up, and there's a reason, and it's for protection, and you never know. You never know. He still could, but I'm just not getting a strong yes either, Crystal.
I'm really not. I feel like it's going to be more of a my son situation. You know, he wanted one college. He ended up going to a different college and ended up finding out college just wasn't for him. So I don't know that that's going to be what your son receives and how it works out for him, but I don't necessarily know that Cambridge is going to be the answer based on how I'm feeling this in my gut. And I'm sorry, but it's the truth. That's how I'd feel it. Terry said that she did break her ankle in the spring and is healing from a surgery. She's not driving yet and still in physical therapy. So I'm sorry that happened to you. But that kind of also validates. They're like, slow down. It's okay. It'll all be okay. Julie, hello, ladies. Hello, ladies. Tell my mama, I said, you know, Pammy, you can tell your mom that yourself. Aww. Honey, you don't need me or Mandee to tell your mom that you miss her. And you know damn well your mom is around you all the time now. That's when
all the time.
I was like, if you don't ever have to ask if mom is like around you or if she has a message, because I'm pretty sure that your mom will always have a message to give to you because that's your mom. And thank you so much. I'm grateful that California looks good.
I'm just going to pull Pam a card real quick.
You go right ahead.
Share your voice. Sorry,
my dog is
come out of the cage. Persecution, expression. It is, you know, Pammy, if anybody knows, Pammy knows that most of the time it's pretty easy for her to express her throat chakra on a lot of things. But some things she keeps cool and quiet and calm. And there's certain things that it's important for her to get real clear on and know that it's safe to share your voice, to literally come out of the cave of hiding, to release fear of persecution, and to express yourself with who you truly are. So I hope that helps and supports you, Pam.
I love that for her. I love that. I'm just going to keep talking. Julie says, California looks good on me. Thank you. I'm starting to explore and love it here a little bit more. Glenda says, oh, Terry, I hope you get back to normal soon. Heather, they will get to you. Just be patient. Oh, thank you. Once again, Heather, I should make you a moderator. Like, I should give you the thing and, like, have you be able to do the thing because you're answering perfectly. Thank you.
Yeah, Heather, we love you and appreciate you so much.
Thank you. Melissa would love to see for me worried for tomorrow. Yes, you got the card, and I can't remember what Mandee said. Terry, my future son-in-law is a country singer, so there's music. Can you tell me, is the uncle from mom's side or dad's side? I actually believe that it is from mom's side, based on how I'm getting it right now dropped into my noggin. They're like mom's side of the family, which is usually my right side. So that's where I'm seeing the hand waving at me. So I'm just going to say mom's side of the family. Also, great personality, this guy. He is a hoot, this one. I think that he might have been a little bit on the stubborn side in life, a little old school. We're going to call him old school. He was a man of his word. He was a look me in the eye when you shake my hand or we are not making this deal. But he also was somebody who was very, very funny. And I think he had a great sense of humor. And he's making me feel like that's what he's trying to add to everybody's effing life right now. Because I feel like some people in your family need to laugh a little. So you just know, if there are some things happening in the family, amongst the family right now, that's probably why, because he's probably getting people to, once again, like in the beginning, when we talked about how spirit likes us sometimes to not be so heavy about life, let it go a little bit. And there's probably some people maybe hanging on to some stuff in the life right now. So he's trying to teach them to let it go. So that's what he's coming in for. Hi, Jennifer. We did see you, but you were down in the comments, so I didn't get to you yet. But hi, Jennifer. Thank you so very much. She's also a sound healing sea goddess, and she is doing tons of different sound baths all of the time. Beautiful beach sound baths. So
including one tomorrow night. And you can get a free virtual ticket from anywhere in the world on seagoddesshealingarts.com. Last week, Heather was a champ. She jumped on and helped us figure it out. It was experimental, but I think we have it more worked out for this week. So I believe, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there's still an opportunity to get a free virtual ticket to tune in from home. And then if you want to go in person, it's in Williamstown, New Jersey, and you can register on the same spot at a beautiful place called Redemption Farm with our beautiful friend, Bruce Stewart, and his wife. And it's just incredible. So if you're into sound healing, seagoddesshealingarts.com, and you will find some options for you.
I think that would be so awesome. I so love her and her sound bath stuff. She is miraculous, and she talks a lot about how it helped her heal her. So we can learn a lot from her too. I don't know if she talks about it at her sound baths, but Emily says, I'm wondering if there's any insight into the next step I should take into the realm of what I should be doing to make money. Wow. I almost, do you remember, I don't know if you read the comment that I made in our little group chat about me saying, hey, I might talk about that a little bit if it comes to it on our live. A lot of us are experiencing this space right now where it's almost like things are being taken away from us that we've known like to be our reality or what we think we need to be beneficial in life. And our jobs seem to be one of those things. I know a lot of people who have lost jobs. I myself have stepped away from reading since moving here, and it's because it's just changed for me. It doesn't feel the same for me. There are differences in how I want to kind of do what I'm doing, and that can be a scary place when we don't know what that next stage is or what that next step is in our life. But I also, since being here and since going through the scary, I've learned that it really just doesn't effing matter, because either way I'm going to be taken care of. And they wouldn't do this if they didn't have something else waiting for me. I just have to give it the space to let that reveal itself. And I know that people are like, well, we can't because homelessness, that's not fun. Families, we have food that we have to provide and stuff like that. And I hear all of that. I'm personally in a place where Ben is able to work and it works for us right now. But if you're not in that place, I don't know what Mandee's going to pull on your card. But I will say manifesting is probably one of the biggest things that I would dive into if you're experiencing one of those moments in your life, and really sit down with yourself and figure out what you want. Because generally when those things happen, it's when we're the most indecisive in our life, and we don't even sometimes know we're indecisive until that door shuts. And then we're like, what the hell do we even want anyway? And we find out that that wasn't the best space for us. It was just we were going every day because that's what we knew to do. And so it's an awakening almost inside of us to really kind of reform our lives and redirect who we are, what we want, and what we want out of life in the near coming months and future. So hopefully Mandee's card will give you a little bit more insight. But I think that that's something that a lot of us are going through right now. It's an awakening on a different level.
Yeah, I'm going to pull from Rebecca Campbell's Work Your Light, because this is literally about making money in abundance, if eventually, from answering your soul's callings. So let's just see what that has to say. So they're saying say yes to, first of all, you get yes. Say yes to this change. Say yes to taking the next step. and yes to looking into what this next possibility is. It's one thing to kind of think about it. It's another to like take some action steps and start exploring and see what would be the right fit. They're saying it's important to do this because it's an initiation, rite of passage. You're going somewhere sacred. It's really important to make sure that you start to follow things that bring you joy, light you up, make you happier, infuse your spirit with something. The word inspired means to be in spirit. So like when we're actually inspired, we're in spirit, we're connected with our highest self. So if there's, things coming up at this time that you're like, yeah, I'm ready to like really make this and call this in, and what should I be doing? Get clear on what brings you joy, what you enjoy. Like seriously, it's all about joy and like what you actually want to spend your time doing in order to call in that abundance that you're wanting. And then you've got Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying the foundations, divine plan. So you're really on the right step. You're like on the right path as far as it's going. And when it comes to like the next step that you should take, they're saying, get really clear on it. See where you're at now, lay some goals out, and then get really clear on what you want to call in. Write it in, wish it in, because you have a lot of opportunities that are coming to you at this time. And it's important for you to just be brave enough to step into that next step. And that is the first step, is just getting kind of clear on what it is you're calling in. But I'm seeing abundance coming your way. I'm seeing you not having a problem making money. And I'm seeing you having choices with it as well. So allow yourself the grace and the time and the energy to explore that.
I got your angels over here. Well, guides. They're like, and when we talk about manifesting, make sure that you put yourself. I always tell people, do you ever remember like sitting down for an English class and like having to rough draft a story, and then like you put the context of the story in the middle, and then you spoke it out and make other things? That's what I talk about when it comes to manifesting. You put you in the middle, and like the perfect job for you, like your life and the job that fits your life, you put those out in the spokes around you. So if you want more time with your family, they're winking, they're making me feel like that's a big one for you, because you have things happening in your household that you need time for. You need to spend time with your people, and they're making me feel like that's really important to you. And so make sure that that's part of what you manifest. Make sure that your perfect job, one of the first things is time with family, paid time off, things that actually benefits that are going to take care of some of those health needs that you have for your family. Because I think that there's something going on there where you need some space for somebody in your family that may have health requirements. Make sure that those are all parts of that spoke system. And then when you're done and you're like, yeah, that feels great to me, then take it and jam it out in pencil, not pen. And when you write that down, say, I thank the universe for, or whoever you find, spaghetti master, don't care. Thank them for this, and this. And I ask for all of that to be for the highest good of all concerned. Aho, amen, whatever you want to jam that last thing down with. And then look at it like it's already coming to you. And I tell people to make sure that they sit with it for a minute, because we're human. We change our mind. Only put things you want on that piece of paper. Do not put things you don't want on that piece of paper. But then once you're ready, write it in pen, and then take it and carry it in your back pocket with you. And every time you're feeling it, pull it out. You thank the universe for it. Thank the universe for it. Do that for 2 effing weeks. And then when you're done, you take it, you either burn it, you get rid of it, you do something with it, you give it back to them, and you say, I know y'all have the power. I know you've been listening, and I know this is what you're bringing to me, and I thank you for it. Take it, make it. Thank you. That's it. And then let it play out. Let it come to you, because it will. It might take a minute to, but I don't think it will with this. I really don't think it will for this. I think it might be a couple months before you find that dream, before you find that thing. But I think you have to get a little bit honest with yourself about what that looks like now, because it's changed. And there are just situations in your life that have kind of changed. And so please be patient with that. But get on your manifesting, any single one of you. Get on your manifesting, and Mandee is glowing. We've already addressed this, Jennifer, today. We talked about her hair being down. We've talked about how beautiful and sun-kissed she looks. She just looks amazing today, so we love her.
Well, Thank you, guys. And I also found Sophia's card about the Arcturian energy, deep cellular healing, physical and emotional. So this is the starseed family you're kind of looking to connect with, and that's what the beautiful card in Rebecca Campbell's deck looks like. And this artwork is by Danielle Noel. She's pretty cool.
I'm just going down really quick and reading comments, so I'm going to skip over some of you if it's just you talking to each other and stuff. I love you too, Ben. Thank you. I had to text him. That's what I was doing in the beginning. I was like, stop texting me. I love you, but you're going off. Nikki says she misses me. I miss you too. I miss all of my people in Michigan. You can virtually get a hold of me though. And Heather says, hi, Ben. This space is so special. Thank you guys both. This was Emily, by the way, who you just pulled the card for. This space is so special, and thank you both for being creators. We thank you guys for giving us this ability to be and hold space with you. And Jennifer, love her again, always. We are all masculine and feminine energy. Setting the balance is our responsibility. It definitely is. I'm more masculine than I am feminine. I talk about it all the time. It just works for me. I don't know. Sophia says Garrett will be her new best friend. He will enjoy you. Trust me. He's fun. And you guys, anybody who wants to know more or have an Akashic record done, that's like your blueprint for life, whatever, you can get a hold of Garrett. He's fun. Garrett Petrov is his name. Do you have time for another card? And also,
how many more do we have?
I'm going to say this one, just this one is what I'm going to say. And okay. I don't generally do this for love things. Yes, your boyfriend's out there. I'm just going to answer that for you. Yes, your perfect human is out there for you. And the only reason I'm asking you to pull a card is not necessarily for the boyfriend experience, but for the healing aspects that go along with receiving.
Is this the one for Heather, the comment you have up?
Yes.
It's BFF, best friend forever.
Oh, best friend forever. Sorry, I thought it said boyfriend. I was like, eyeballs, apparently. She's like, Mandee's like, no, Crystal. She's talking about a fucking best friend. So, yes. Anyway, I do believe your best friend is out there, regardless of what it is. And that's what I was getting. They were telling me that she's almost too giving in conversations or in relationships with people or whatever. That's why I thought automatically boyfriend, because they're bending over backwards. And that usually means we give too much of ourselves sometimes. And so we have the wrong people around us sometimes when it comes to what that is, because we give out too much of our own energy. And that's kind of how they're giving it to me. And so I don't know if she really needs to work hard for that. So never mind. Never mind.
Well, yeah. Hey, have fun, celebrate. Don't be so serious. Angels are saying, Heather, that yes, you were going to find your BFF. One of my stories, I'm still writing my book, but it will come out, is like healing that sisterhood wound. And like, I wanted everyone to be my best friend because of my own traumas and dramas I went through and stuff. And I thought like I could find like that companionship there. And I've definitely gone through it. I've had amazing friends. I have incredible lifelong friends. I have some that were just for a season, some that's been for a lifetime. And there's been things to learn and grow through all of them. Some I never want to speak to again, but like certainly, don't want to see, out on their feet or anything like that, because I've forgiven it. But it's important to just trust. And when you go out and you play and you have fun, what'll happen is the universe will start doing its magical dance and weaving you in with people who are in alignment for you. And you'll start to find, I know for me, because I moved a lot, I had a lot of different chapters. I've been so blessed, especially in my adult life. I'm 36 now, to have a best friend every chapter. And like, I always joke around, like if I get married one day, I'm gonna have like 1,000 bridesmaids. It's gonna be really funny. But like, I'll have someone who's like there for me, like my girl, like my best friend, like through, jobs, or like, like one will be my best friend for 2 years at like a certain place I'm working. One will be my best friend, in the next chapter I move to, or city I move to, or whatever. And it all is divine and perfect. Or especially when you find you're working on personal things, all of a sudden somebody shows up, and it's often not who you think, and it's like incredible what'll happen. So let yourself have fun, play, get out there and just be authentically you. And as Rebecca Campbell, who we were talking about earlier, she talks about, waving your flag, your weird flag, so your other weirdos can find you. And like, that's really what it's about. And like holding space with yourself and others in non-judgment as much as possible, and seeing who really just lights your fire, who makes you happy.
I love that. So yes, and it was cute because I went down and read her comment. She's like, yeah, no. I just like, just friend energy, not that girl. Wrong situation we're talking about, Crystal. That's not what I'm looking for right now. Sorry about that. And I am going to answer this just because it was funny. I laughed when I read it, so it was very loud. No, the answer is no. Okay, I could get into that a little bit more because your mom is very flavorful, but the answer is no. It says, can you ask my mom if the question Seth asked the other day is going to happen soon? No, it's not. It's not. It's not. Once again, I feel like there's something that's not going to come to a close because somebody else doesn't want it to come to a close. And so it's going to essentially be dragged out. Your mom is really funny, though. I just got to tell you, she is flavorful and there is a lot of energy behind what she's saying. So I'm experiencing something. Literally just talked to Ursula tonight about work and what I'm being pulled to do. That was Glenda. Terry says that is weird. He did such not so great things to my sister. And when my mom passed, so I'm not understanding. This would be the uncle. But we also have to recognize and understand that sometimes on the other side, all the time on the other side, thank you, my guides, all the time, when people pass, we're not the same, guys. We're not the same. Once we actually cross over and get to the other side, if we're earthbound and we're stuck here, we're still stuck in ego. But once we get to the other side, we're not the same. We deal with our crap. We face our stuff. We might not have apologized in life, but we and obviously we can't because we're spirit on the other side, only in readings to come through and be like, blah, 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 I'm sorry. And spirit thinks that's just as stupid as most people do, only because they're not here to actually change their actions, but they are over there and they can change their actions over there. And that's why they work so hard to connect with us over here. It's to help mend those relationships and mend those things that they weren't capable of mending when they were physically here on Earth. And so if you, any of you, have people on the other side that you just hated or they were the most horrible, rotten people on the planet, well, you kind of need to get over that. And I'm not saying that to you, Terry, specifically. I'm saying anybody who feels that way because this comes up a lot. They're not that way on the other side. And if they are, well, they'll come through and they'll tell me they are. And they'll be honest about that too. But 9 times out of 10, when they come through with who they really were, who their soul imprint really was. And the issue is that a lot of us don't get to live our soul imprint correctly because we can't heal. And so if he was a dick in life, it was probably because he had a lot of stuff happen in his own life that he didn't understand, didn't know how to look at, and didn't ever take the time to fully reflect on. And so he crossed over with all of that stuff and everybody's perspective of who he was as a person. But who he really was somebody that probably wasn't seen by a lot of people. That's where I come in. And that's why people don't like the way I channel sometimes, because I see people for who they were supposed to be. And that's also one of the issues I have with humans. That's why I make mistakes, because I see everybody for who the frick they're supposed to be and not who they choose to be. And so everybody's beautiful to me. So you have to understand that how I see people is not how you see people. And that's just one of the things I'm not able to stop seeing. That's one of my gifts. And I have to get to love it. And so do all of you. So if he was a jerk, I'm sorry, but that's not who he is. And he's trying to lighten the mood, probably because there are things happening. And there are people who are processing or healing from things that happened when he was alive and that he contributed to, that he's trying to, I guess, move forward from too. And so that's what it is. And I would guess that's kind of how I'll end that. I am going to say there are probably a couple people who did want readings, and Mandee is exhausted. She had a very long weekend. She's working lots of hours, and I can tell she's like, it is 8 o'clock. So
I'm sorry, but I'm totally yawning, but that's just authentic right now.
No, it comes with it. You had a busy, energetic weekend, and you put a lot into that. So we have to hold space for you right now, the same way you hold space for us. So,
and I'm just sending everyone love. And if I didn't get to you tonight, I will definitely next time. And I appreciate you being here. And and also if you made it to the end, I always give out my code at the end, which is 50% off all of my services. You just have to use the code Mandee Live. You go to SeaGoddessHealingArts.com, book with Mandee, and just type in Mandee Live and you'll get 50% off. I know many people on this show have used that. So thank you all so much. Thank you for holding space and sending love. I appreciate each and every one of you, and especially you, my sweet Crystal. Thank you for showing up all the time and shining your light. How can people get a hold of you?
Thank you. I am Spirit Speaks with Mitten Medium on YouTube. I try to put out 2 videos a week. I try. And you can get a hold of me at my website at midmittenmedium.com. And Mandee, how do people get a hold of you, my dear?
SeaGoddessHealingArts.com. And like we said, we've got a sound bath coming up tomorrow night for our beautiful Jennifer who's here. And you can sign up for a free virtual ticket, or you can pay a little bit of money to come hold space with us in person. Sending you all the love, and we'll see you guys very soon.
Have a great week, guys. Bye.